This ain't no handouts. No shortcuts. No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman. No middleman. No middleman, I get it direct. Pressure talk, I don't deal in the flex. Cut the line, I don't wait, I collect. If it's mine, I'ma claim my respect. No middleman, I move with intent. Boss moves only, every dollar was spent. No favors, no deals, no rent. Built from the ground, now the whole game bent. Started with a vision, had to cut the distractions. No handshake, just results and reactions. They was talking plays, I was making it happen. Turn losses to losses, then flipped it to passion.
Disclaimer: this broadcast is intended for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. All topics and statements are based on publicly available information, including news reports, social media content, and third-party sources, which may include allegations or unverified claims. The views expressed are opinions and should not be interpreted as confirmed facts. This content is not intended to harm, defame, misrepresent any individual, organization, or entity. Viewer discretion is advised.
As an arbiter of the law with whole knowledge of historical jurisprudence in this country, race must always be considered a variable.
You have precious time, Miss Keating. I suggest that you don't waste it by making arguments you've already made.
These are not my words, Justice Strickland. They're yours. You wrote them in your 1985 ruling in Bryant v. Topeka, an equal protection case dealing with a state housing lottery program. Racism is built into the DNA of America. And as long as we turn a blind eye to the pain of those suffering under its oppression, we will never escape those origins. The only safeguard people of color have is the right to a defense, and we won't even give them that. Which means that the promise of civil rights has never been fulfilled. Due to the failure of our justice system, our public defense system in particular, Jim Crow is alive and kicking. Laws that made it illegal for blacks and whites to be buried in the same cemetery. They categorize people into quadroons and octoroons. They punish a black person for seeking medical attention in a white hospital. Some may claim that slavery has ended, but tell that to the inmates who are kept in cages and told that they don't have any rights at all. People like my client Nathaniel Leahy and millions of people like him who are relegated to a subclass of human existence in our prisons. There is no alternative to justice in this case. There is no other option. To decide against my plaintiff is to choose lining the pockets of prison owners over providing basic defense for the people who live in them.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome into a Sunday special edition of No Middleman. You can call it No Middleman / Same Sauce, Different Roots, whatever you want to call it. You have my wonderful host here, Rain from Conversations with Soft Rain, and you have the one and only Souls from Souls of Thought, man. We wanted to bring something to you guys. I hope you guys were able to hear that very closely. That was Annalise, better known as Viola Davis, from How to Get Away with Murder. And the reason why I wanted to play that is because we're going to be talking about Nolan Wells tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of information that has popped up about Nolan Wells. But I remember, again, you know, Souls, I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I am batting 1,000. I mentioned this during Classics Live the first time. I told everyone we need to find out who's the sheriff, who's the parents, what they do. They're all in the line of work. And then also on our first episode, when we did it on No Middleman, myself, Rain, and Uncle Plug, I said, man, this is like, I'm so glad I watch TV and watch things with How to Get Away with Murder. And if you heard there on that opening with Viola Davis, she spoke about, you know, the almost like that invisible Jim Crow law, or those invisible things, the racisms that's built into the DNA of people. And I mentioned on Classics Live that, hey, I'll call a thing when it's a thing. And this is a thing. Right here is a thing. And me and Rain gonna be breaking this down tonight. We'll be giving you guys our thoughts and opinions on this. We have 3 videos for you guys today. 2 of them are going to be coming from a House of Hypocrites, who does amazing investigative work. So him, and then somebody that I know myself and Rain really likes is E-Class, who breaks down a lot of news in the crime world. So y'all buckle in tonight, man. Really want to see you guys get engaged in the chat tonight about this conversation. Y'all are already here, so make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 10K here at Souls of Thought. We're focusing on the big picture, man. 10K super chats are open if the chat gets too busy. But how you doing tonight, Miss Rain?
I'm doing okay. I had a long weekend, but we here. It's Sunday. I might bring the weekly rain report tomorrow, y'all, since I didn't catch y'all this evening because I was traveling and whatnot. But if you are over on Facebook as well, welcome in all the people that's coming in on Facebook and watching on Facebook. So make sure y'all come over to YouTube, and come over to the RSC page on YouTube and find all of our individual channels as well. And so you can get great content and whatnot. So welcome everybody over on Facebook as well, because we are over there as well tonight.
Yes, sir.
And everybody in the chat, hey y'all.
How you doing? Ruby said, how can I be a manager? Stay around long enough. Let us find out who you are. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Tonight is going to be a very interesting night, man. So we're going to start off with the first thing that's been going on tonight, man. We're going to be jumping into this first segment. And Nolan Wells made it off the island, man. He made it off the island, apparently. And there's proof out there that he made it off the island. And it starts with an Instagram photo that was actually found its way out there. And this was like around, I think they reported around 1 a.m. the following day of July the 5th. And you can see him on the screen there, circled in red. So we're going to hear what House of Hypocrites has to say about this. He also is going to bring up part of the interview that Nolan Wells' best friend talked about on TMZ. So we might cover that a little bit more on our regular standard No Middleman show. But it's a lot going on here, y'all. A lot going on here. So just buckle up, man. So shout out to House of Hypocrites. Here we go.
This picture right here of Nolan Wells and the group of boys in the pool, it changes everything. Because this picture was taken after Nolan Wells left the island. Remember when Nolan Wells' best friend Javion Williams said this?
Around 3:40, 4 o'clock, an altercation had happened between one of my other friends. I don't want to say his name, but he had got an altercation. So I went and checked on him for about 20 to 15 minutes. I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone.
Yeah, that's right. He said around 3:40. He didn't see the 2 boats and didn't know which one Nolan Wells took off in. And we're getting back to this picture. This was at Evan's house. And witnesses that was there confirm this picture is real. Better yet, Evan confirmed this picture was real because he posted it on his Instagram. But he deactivated their Instagram. But one thing about Instagram, they have an app called Threads. In Threads, he forgot to take this picture down until everybody noticed that Evan still had this Threads account public. So Evelyn did what any guilty conscience would do. He deactivated that Threads. Now, the witness that was there said this. Alazia Spencer says, bro, No didn't get into a fight. And if y'all don't know who No is Nolan. This is the nickname that his friends and family called him. No didn't get into a fight at the island. It was our other friend. No and Wyatt did get into an altercation. Right after that, not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone and Evan was trying to be hard. Nolan was definitely screaming, give me my effing phone back, N-word. What the hell wrong with you? So they calmed down. So that's when we head to Evan's house. So they left the island. Remember, Javion Williams said he didn't see the two boats when he had got back around 3:40.
Around, I want to say around 3:40, 4 o'clock, the altercation had happened between one of my other friends. I don't want to say his name, but he had got an altercation. So I went and checked on him for about 20 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes. I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone. But the thing about the two boats that I said, there were two boats tied up. So therefore, I didn't know which boat Nolan exactly was on because they were both tied up.
So they calmed down. So that's when we head to Evan's house because he was throwing a pool party. So yes, No came to the party, and yes, we was drinking. But Wyatt and Evan and Morgan and Andrew was really high. And I think they was trying to get Lucy and Natalie to try some as well. But yes, they got into it again at the pool party, and it didn't end until almost 1 a.m. I know Evan's mom kicked us all out once they started fighting. It was Andrew and Evan and Wyatt and Warren was basically recording and laughing, saying, get him. And all I could hear was No screaming mom. So yes, I tried helping. Then his mom come out screaming, yelling, drunk. Make us leave, and was saying she was going to call the cops on us if we didn't leave her house. But they didn't let No leave. And No was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over beside it, gasping for air and spitting up blood. But now his mom know I just got off the phone with her. That's interesting. We believe Nolan Wells was left on the island, but it seems like his dead body was returned to the waters of Horn Island. It's interesting. Warren mama was the judge that came and applied an alibi for the friends and her child.
So we're gonna stop here. We're gonna break this down tonight. We're gonna break this down tonight. See, Ray. I'm gonna make something very clear. Do y'all now see the difference between this and Carmelo Anthony? When people know the truth, people talk.
Yeah.
Let me say that one more time. When people know the truth, they really talk. Look at all these people who known him. Look at the very detailed stories. Everybody's been putting out statements. Like everybody. Like, think about that, guys. This is the first time we have seen, probably in history, something between black and white people, and every black person is speaking out and showing proof that they were there, knowing who's who, providing you all the details and not leaving anything out. You don't need being Crump when you got the black community. So you can have the floor, Rain. You can have it. I just wanted to point that out. It's a big change tonight. It's a big difference between these two stories.
Yeah, it's
one story, nobody knew nothing. We waiting on cameras. This story, everybody's providing you every piece of evidence they have.
But why is that though? What's your opinion on the why?
Because they know the truth.
So because nobody knew the truth with Carmelo's case, as far as the people that were surrounded in that tent, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
This right here is a lot because it totally adjusts the timeline, adjusts all the facts, adjusts everything from what was initially said, and it's crumbling and it's falling apart. So what I think that the lawyer that know, or his family or whatever, to the individuals of the, I'm gonna say white family, and the judge, the information that they know, as far as the case goes, or this right here shows a cover up, that they were trying to cover it up. It explains the whole thing there, that it's a cover up. So, and it's starting to crumble in their faces. So somebody, a bird, needs to really sing and tell it all, so these parents can, at least get some, I guess, relief in knowing the truth and how their son passed on. You know, unfortunately, he's gone. He's not here. We can't change that. But at least the case will be closed and all the speculation and everything can stop. And we know this is what happened. This is how it's going to roll. And then at the end of the day, we know a child, 18-year-old young adult, lost his life and is no longer here. And he wasn't deserving of that, according to his parents. You know, he was a great child, had a good personality, loving heart, giving heart, so on and so forth. So, and I'm not saying any child does not deserve that, or any young adult doesn't deserve that. But as they are saying, Nolan is special. He was special. He had a kind heart. So unfortunately, he mixed himself in this group of people that he should not really probably should have been mixing in, and he lost his life.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, this right here is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's woe to y'all. I told y'all. I'm telling you, when I first heard the story, I said, man, I'm so glad I watched so much TV. Because when you think about this story, this is what Annalise did. Not Annalise. Yeah, Annalise did in the show when Wes killed her, allegedly killed her husband. We're talking about the TV show. Mm-hmm. Y'all did you watch How to Get Away with Murder?
I didn't.
Okay, so for those who watched it, this is how she covered up the death of her husband. Like Wes actually hit him over the head. He fell down the steps and he died, but she rolled him up in a rug and took him to another place. And like, I know this stuff sounds crazy, but like when I think about life, I'm like, they put so much stuff in front of our faces. And a lot of people, not black people, a lot of white people, unfortunately, they use these things that they learn. Like, that's why they wanted to get that toxicology report so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would have proved alcohol and they could have kept their story straight, but then everybody didn't go behind and cover up their tracks on social media.
That too.
You see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So that's what people don't understand. Like, y'all got all these accounts, Twitter, X, TikTok, all these every different, like, y'all got all these accounts and everything is connected. So you post one story on Instagram, you think you deleted it, but it's everywhere. And the eye in the sky, it don't lie. Like, and that's why, like, shout out to Classic. Classic been doing great coverage on it all week.
Yeah.
Like, but like I kept saying, man, it's all about who is his parents. And we know now we know Warren mom is somebody who's in the law area and an attorney. We finna hear later on about the sheriff. Like, it was a picture perfect situation. But I always tell people, this is what it looks like when people really know the truth. This is what I feel when Classic tell me, like, majority of black people are good people. You're seeing all the good black people right now in the Nolan Wells case. None of them are biting their tongue, allowing their friend, somebody they called a friend, to just pass away in silence. Right. Everybody's speaking. It's totally different on the other side on all the other cases we've seen. Everybody hush mouth, everybody get their phone taken, they don't say nothing. Like, no, these people like, nah, bro, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened, man. Shout out to Class. He said, jump into worst case scenario involving black bodies mysteriously turned up in America. I perfectly understand. It's perfectly understandable. Hey, yeah. Hey, Class, I told you, I call a thing, dog. I said this was race right off the bat. I just seen the story. Like, I ain't talk about it a lot on No Middleman, but I was paying attention. And I was like, dog, this sounds like some How to Get Away with Murder type stuff, dog. And that's why I played Viola Davis's snippet at the beginning, because she talked about this. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times people think my stance is I don't believe in, like, the black person. No, I do, but I also call a thing a thing. And in this thing, it's very clear. And like you said, it is crumbling right in front of their eyes.
It is. It might slowly crumble away, but it's going to crumble away. And the truth is going to come out. And speaking of the sheriff, too, the sheriff seems so nonchalant behind this.
We're going to get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sco said, I know exactly what you're talking about. I rewatch How to Get Away. Yeah. That's the one. That's one of my favorite crimes. Yeah, I'm telling you, dog. Like when it was the first thing I noticed when I heard the whole case, I was like, yeah. And then it just wasn't added up because nobody had a story about the island. Nobody had a story. Nobody, like,
out of hundreds of people that was there too. Like, why can you not know? There's this many people here. So how do y'all not know what went down?
I'll tell you, man. I tell people common sense will take you further than your emotions any day. Like some of this stuff, I could just sit with it and be like, yep, white dude killed him. Yep. like it's just so simple. Like it was right there, man. But we're gonna play a little bit more of this House of Hypocrites, man. He does a great job when he breaks down these these scenarios.
And the sitting judge couldn't do that. It's a guy named Trent Out Loud that pointed this out, and the judge came up and spoke about the illegal involvement that Warren Moms had and made when she made this post.
The fact that she put out this statement on this kind of presentation that looks like it's an official presentation with the scale of justices underneath, and it looks like it's something official, that alone is not law-abiding. But like I just said to you, this is Mississippi. This is how to get down. And nobody is going to stop them. Listen to the video.
Judge Ashley Cole, the stepmother of Warren Hudson, issued a statement, and it is problematic. I want to focus on how the law is implicated in some of the things that she said. Canon 2B of the Mississippi Canons of Judicial Conduct says, judges shall not allow their family, social, or other relationships to influence the judge's judicial conduct or judgment. Judges shall not lend the prestige of their offices to advance the private interest of the judges or others. Now, I take note of the fact that she didn't use official court letterhead here, but it might as well have been. She's advertising the fact that she's a judge. It's a picture in the courtroom, and at the bottom, she has the scales of justice. Best practice would have been to say nothing. She could have used personal stationary letterhead. She could have just used her name, but instead, she implicated her office. I'm a judge. I live in this community. I care about justice. A judge must not testify voluntarily as a character witness because to do so may lend the prestige of the judicial office in support of the party for whom the judge testifies. So she can't be a character witness. Maybe she can be a fact witness if she's subpoenaed. Canon 3B9. A judge shall not, while a proceeding is pending or impending in any court, make any public comment that might reasonably be expected to affect its outcome or impair its fairness. I would argue that she's poisoning the jury pool. Canon 4. A judge shall so conduct the judge's extrajudicial activities as to minimize the risk of conflict with judicial obligations. Like I said, there's lots of problems with the statement. Some are substantive. I'm going to talk about those later. A lot of them are legal, but you should know that the fact that the canons have been violated doesn't mean automatically that the judge is going to be disciplined for them. Someone has to actually report those violations so that it can be investigated by the commission. And that report would need to be made to the Mississippi Commission on Judicial Performance, which has a website where you can locate report forms and information on how to go about making that report.
If y'all didn't pick up what he put down, someone that needs to report these things is us because he can't do it because he's a sitting judge within that county. What do y'all think about all that is coming out? And do y'all believe that Nolan Wells will get justice? Or are they going to say he had alcohol and substances in his system, which is what caused a freak accident of him drowning?
So there you have it, man. Shout out to House of Hypocrites, man. Rain, we got to make sure we send him the collaboration on this. But what is your thoughts on this, man? What is your thoughts on all this coming out at this moment?
It's hard. The whole story is heartbreaking, but like with everything starting to surface, I'm thankful that it just wasn't swept up under the rug, because at the end of the day, and we've always said this, even with Carmelo Anthony, a life was lost, and someone needs to pay. Somebody needs to serve some time behind this, and whoever it was, I hope they figure out whoever it was what happened.
Yeah, and shout out to Classic. Classic said he will get justice because of the level of proof. It would still be less than 35 years, though. Take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear you. But what I'm here to point out today is we have control. I've been saying this from the get-go. Every time everybody gets into an uproar about what's wrong, what happened, this is racist. If everybody speaks and tell their story, this is what happens. This is what happens. Like the court of public opinion, it matters in today's world.
Of course.
It didn't matter years ago, but now it matters. Like it matters, dog. Like I'm telling y'all, man, like when people have the proof, you have to say something. You have to say something.
Do you think with what that judge just said, that gentleman just said, do you think that the mom or the judge, I forget what her name is, that quickly, that came out with the statement, do you think that she should have just stayed quiet at all? Or do you think she was maybe, I'm not gonna say pressured into releasing a statement, but she maybe thought that releasing a statement would take the attention off of her children or her child possibly being guilty behind this?
Who, the white person?
Yeah.
No, no. White people do what I keep telling black people to do every day. White people go and do the educational thing. They try to manipulate the law in every way possible. We don't do that. We do a lot of not all of us, some of us, but most of us don't. We don't go and like how that gentleman just broke down, like what has to happen
Mm-hmm.
for these things not to stand. That's what's important. Like, to know the law is the way to use the law. Like, if you don't know it and you're running everything off of emotions and clips and what you're watching, we're never gonna move anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, we're never gonna move. Like, it's never gonna move the needle. And I'm gonna tell you, in this type of case, somebody now, y'all hear it here first, somebody now needs to create a new law. So when something like this happens, bodies being moved, or if a location is decided to be the crime scene location, and you find out X, Y, and Z, a body was moved, they should make that the new Nolan Wells law, where you automatically are found guilty. You get this many years on this. Like, we need to start creating laws
Yeah.
so that people can, like, their names can ring on in a positive manner. Like,
Mhm.
that's what we need to start doing. We need to start taking these moments, because we can't bring him back, but we can make his name live on. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like we need to create laws in these moments, even though it's hard right now to think about that. Once you start moving forward, you have to make laws. And I'm gonna tell y'all another thing that stood out to me, because I'm just comparing the two, because Carmelo was just the most recent thing. Look how quickly Nolan family spoke up. Look how quickly his mother spoke out. Look how they didn't have anybody playing them like puppets. They said, even though they went and got being Crump,
Yeah.
they're not sitting there looking like sad puppy dogs with nothing to say. Like, our voices are powerful. That's what I'm trying to, like, lead into with everything that we do on these platforms, is our voices are powerful. And the best way to make people look at you differently is to show people that hey, no, I can play this game too. I understand exactly what we're doing, and I can play this game right along with you. And I'm gonna beat you, because I'm ready. I'm ready and prepared.
Yeah.
Ready and prepared, man. I feel like the best way to make his name live on, man, is change the law, create something. Mary said this is such a great loss, but we need to protect our youth. I agree. I agree. Class said, as far as what you asked about Carmelo, I believe parallel in those cases is pointless. However, if Carmelo is innocent until proven guilty, he shouldn't be behind bars. No proof it was murder or versus self-defense.
Mhm.
Appreciate you, big dog. Class said white people are in an advantage situation from the get-go. They live with benefit of doubt. You can know a bunch of ish and still be behind the eight ball because we black. All that can be true, but we still got to tell people how to move forward. Like, I'm not here to play that role. I'm here to tell you how you move forward. Everything ain't gonna look like roses. I get it. I get it. Everything's not gonna look like roses. Everything ain't gonna be. But I'm telling you, things do look different. That's always. I'm not really comparing the cases to each other. I'm comparing the actions of the people around the case to each other.
Mm.
That's like, so I'm not we're not connecting the cases, two different cases. But my thing is that if people start speaking up, the truth can't be hidden if people keep speaking. Like, look how quickly this stuff happened. Like, look, like, we were just talking 48 hours ago, man, are we gonna find out, like, the body autopsy? And then the next day you got pictures, videos, everybody's already, like, it can move faster than we think.
Yeah.
I think more people are actually thinking the way I'm thinking. And I think people learn very quickly from Carmelo. And now people like, nope, You ain't doing Nolan that way. We about to speak up. We about to speak up. You know what I mean? Before y'all try to give us a gag order and all that stuff, we gonna speak up.
But doesn't everybody deactivating their social medias scream guilt?
But Ray, how did they know it? Again, the only reason they knew they activated their accounts is because we told you.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like, we don't know if people activated their accounts in Carmelo Anthony's case. Nobody didn't look that deep. Everybody was sitting around waiting for a video camera footage. Everybody was waiting around. In this situation, nobody waited. They acted.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm trying to, like, I want people to think about it from, like, what is action? You know what I mean? What is the action that we do to improve these things, man? Meredith said they stick together and close ranks. We as Black need to do the same. We need to teach our kids how to defend themselves against the injustice and oppression. It's going to be hard, Miriam. It's going to be hard because Black people fight more about who's right or wrong and not seeing both sides of the token. Like, I've seen that very heavy on platforms. It's like everybody wants to, like, go against what you're saying instead of even trying to understand what you're saying. Everybody wants to, like, push back, and that's like white people stick together when there needs to stick together. Like, we have to be okay with agreeing to disagree. We're into the I want to win and be right category. Shout out to Dwayne. She was compelled to make a statement because the involvement of her loved ones. All right, Dwayne, we know you white. Shout out to you, Dwayne. Shout out to you. Costa said fighting the system with the system isn't the answer in mass. The answer is the Old Testament. You did a great show on that. You did a great show on that Old Testament. I hear you. But today, you know, we got to take the small wins. We got to take the small wins, class. We ain't gonna change the masses overnight. But we got to take the small win. He said, don't nobody give a fudge how they look at us. That ain't going to change no matter what. We need an or else every single time until they understand. I feel you, big dog. I feel you. Mary said, I know, and that's where education needs to step in. Carmelo had nobody to speak for him. He wasn't around an abundance of friends when it happened. He said, my opinion, the conversation should just be separate, just my opinion. We appreciate your opinion, class. Without your opinion, we wouldn't have a chat. We appreciate you. BG said, it streams lawyered up to me, not saying to incriminate themselves, but more people need to take note. Yep. He said, you swear to God, white people got it figured out. They don't. No, I don't think they got it figured out. I think the ones, when I'm speaking of the least of them, I think they do approach things differently than we do. Everything we approach, majority of us, not all Black people, I got to preface that for some reason. So all, like, majority of Black people, everything's an emotional response. Think about this, y'all. Just think about this while we're talking about this tonight. These white people allegedly probably took someone's life. And they never thought emotionally, they thought strategically. Think about that. Think about what that takes. That mom said, hey, son, hey, Warren, slap out of it. Hey, this is what we finna do. We finna get the body, put it in a bag, take it back to the island. You know what? We're gonna do that, right? Because y'all said he left his phone out there too, right? Like, they went straight into strategic, like, they created a master plan with that they thought they did in the midst of taking someone's life. Like, we have to start getting, I think that's the only way the RLs can happen, Classic. I think the RLs comes on the side of us saying, okay, that just happened. This is how we're going to go and attack tonight. We can't sit behind computers and cell phones for 3 weeks and cry about it and get emotional about it and picket about it. We got to get right into the strategic. How do we do the RL step? That's my only thing. That's my only thing. So Mary said, we are in this together, so no need to start one person at a time, one platform at a time. This is why I support all your platforms. One view at a time, it will get better. Appreciate you, Mary. appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You got anything else on that one, Miss Rain?
No, we can move on forward.
All right. Just hold on. Got to read Richard before we move. He said, to be honest, Caucasian have lawyers or people to talk to before cases coke about. Black people be shocked and be stuck with a PD.
Personal defender.
So
the resources. So Rich is saying the resources are different when it comes to white and black people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had something for it, but I'll save it. So we're gonna move on to that's a good statement he just made too.
Yeah, the resources are different.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next topic, man. Ben Crump calls out the officials. We're gonna go over to E-Class, man, to break this down. And then after that, we'll be talking about the sheriff. So let's see what E-Class had to say on this.
This young man who tragically lost his life. We're even finding out that autopsy has been done, and it's appearing, allegedly, that he actually did not drown. So he died from other injuries other than water. Now, that's going to play out and be very important in this case and into the investigation, because Ben Crump was hired by the family to do their own independent investigation, and it's even looking like they're going to do an independent autopsy as well. Now, Ben Crump in this case is calling out local law enforcement and state law enforcement for some of the things that were said on the record that may not be adding or matching up to what actually happened. And TMZ actually posted this interview they did with Ben Crump and says this: Attorney Ben Crump seems to think the state of Mississippi is trying to sweep the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells under the rug. That's not going to happen. And he's not going to let that happen. Check this out. We'll see what Ben Crump had to say.
We're going to investigate every aspect of why Nolan Wells is not with us today. We know that he was with his friends. They went out on Horn Island, as Charles said. He was the only black teenager that was there. And, you know, all of them came back safely on the boat with his cell phone, Harvey. But Nolan's body was found washed up on the shore on Monday morning.
And not to mention, it's being alleged that text messages were deleted as well. The kids that were involved in this allegedly deleted their social media. Not a great look.
Family is not accepting that it was an accidental drowning. They haven't been told anything, but that's been the suggestion. And they're not accepting that because Nolan was a college football player. He was a superior athlete. He was in great fitness and condition. And so for them to try to say, well, we got his phone, but we don't know where he's at, and then he turns up dead, they are not accepting it. And there's so many questions, so many contradictions.
I know there is one friend, a young woman who has come forward and has spoken to the police, and I'm wondering if she's spoken to you and how her version of events differ from what the other friends have said.
She hasn't spoken to us, but we know her statement that she released publicly. She said that she was talking to Nolan, and then Nolan said, well, I'm going back to the boat with the guys I came with. That's her version. She said that he did not leave with her, that he went back and got in the boat with the other boys. Well, the boys say that when they was talking to Nolan, he said he wasn't going to get in the boat with them, that he was going to stay with her, stay behind with her. Their statements contradict one another, and that is something that's very troubling. On top of the fact that we know there are videos circulating where there's an argument where you hear Nolan arguing with somebody, and we're trying to say, this is too much to just try to sweep under the rug. No, we want to have a thorough investigation as if it was 3 black boys and a white boy who was with them ended up dead. We want that same investigation.
Hey, understandable again. And I think Ben Crump, he's just doing right by his clients in that case. We're actually going to hear from the sheriff here as well, because the sheriff had something to say. Of course, this is making national news and a lot of people are talking about this. He's going to speak up on what actually happened here with their investigation. Check this out.
This morning, investigators in Mississippi are combing over videos taken on Horn Island around the hours Nolan Wells was last seen alive, including this clip from social media that has gone viral, the contents of which are unclear.
I don't know the origins of that video at this point, But yes, we are looking into it. It's been brought to our attention.
Wells and his friends were celebrating the 4th of July. The sheriff now looking into claims from the mother of one of the friends who says Wells decided to stay behind when a mechanical issue caused their boat to take on water.
I believe I'm aware that she said that, or she may have made that in a written statement, but as far as our findings of that, that's still part of our ongoing investigation.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the trip made a missing persons report to the Coast Guard around 11 p.m. that night. Wells' mother filing her own report with the sheriff department just after midnight. Authorities have said they believe Wells drowned, but the sheriff stressed their work is still ongoing to determine exactly what happened.
We're awaiting the state's autopsy report from the medical examiner's office.
Wells' family attorneys launching their own investigation. They allege his cell phone was returned with deleted text messages.
At this time, we do not have the cell phone that they speak of, and we've never had a cell phone. It is my understanding that we requested the cell phone for an extraction. We're working towards the same goal as the family. We want a thorough investigation, and that's what we're going to continue to do until we arrive at the answers that the family deserves.
Wow.
And the sheriff says he and his team are still reviewing a substantial amount of video and images they have received from the public. And he says he welcomes that independent investigation the family attorney says they plan to conduct. Michael?
Yeah. All right. So now we're actually going to hear from someone who has some interesting information about what the Coast Guard.
So what do you think about this so far before the gentleman talks about the Coast Guard?
Can you roll it back to when the sheriff speaks on the second time? Because he spoke 3 times, right? In this where class he broke it down to like the second time the sheriff speaks.
Give me 1 second. I think it's gonna be right here. All right.
Written statement, but as far as our findings of that, it's still part of our ongoing investigation.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the trip made a missing persons report to the Coast Guard around 11 p.m. that night. Wells' mother filing her own report.
Can you roll it back just a little bit further?
Okay, yeah.
Like when he first started.
Okay.
He just seems so nonchalant, like he didn't even have like facts put together, and it irked my soul when he spoke just then. As a mother,
I don't know the origins of that video at this point, but yes, we are looking into it. That's been brought to our attention.
Wells and his friends were celebrating the 4th of July. The sheriff now looking into claims from the mother of one of the friends who says Wells decided to stay behind when a mechanical issue caused their boat to take on water.
I believe I'm aware that she said that, or she may have made that in a written statement, but as far as our findings of that, that's still part of our ongoing investigation.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the
believe that how did he say it? I believe that because it's irking, as a mother, it's irking my soul.
Our findings of that are still part of our ongoing investigation.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the trip made a missing persons report to the Coast.
He's going off it. I believe that there's no facts in it. There's no laid down. You're doing an investigation, but there's no laid down facts, and it's too nonchalant for me. It's not put together. His interview is not put together. There's nothing out there. He was being interviewed by media. There's no facts, no true statement put together. He said, "Oh, I'm just gonna show it."
Rain. It's called being smart. I know people don't want to compare the two, but they're not speaking in direct, they're speaking very indirectly.
Yeah.
Like that's different.
There's no matter of fact.
That's different from.
I mean, I understand you're doing an investigation, but tell me your concrete what you have now.
April, nobody does that. Smart people don't do that. You have to go figure everything out. You stretch all this out. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like that's why I was trying to talk about the two, right? Compare like the two situations, right? What did Carmelo Anthony first say when the cop finally got him?
I don't remember.
I told him don't put his hand on me.
Yeah.
He made so many direct statements.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had direct statements, right? Everybody had direct quotes from the incident and all.
Yeah.
Like, no, they gonna play the fool. Because he already know that if he talk crazy, he ain't gonna be the sheriff of the town no more. So he has to play his role. He's playing his role. He's playing the dumb role. He's playing the dumb role, man. I'm telling you, man. Like he's playing the dumb role. And you see how it made you, it hit you in your emotions.
Yeah, it did. Because I'm like,
they don't
about this.
They don't have that. Like they don't have that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this, like you're experiencing the thing that like I have learned to separate so early in life.
Yeah.
When I'm making decisions and when I'm thinking, I'm not thinking emotionally anymore. When I did that at 18, 19, 20, I wanted to fight the world.
Mm.
Now it's like, no. Like, no. Some things are gonna be what it is, some things ain't. But whatever I have control, I can control the controllables. You know what I mean? They told me that in recruiting, you control the ball. That's all you can do. Classic, I don't know what you on today. I already said it's not everybody. I'm not gonna keep making the statement to make black people feel comfortable. If the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it, guys. I'm only talking to those who it actually goes to. Like even Penny said it here. White equals proactive, black equals reactive. Like I think everybody again is like everybody's too sensitive about everything. Like we're just having a conversation about what we're seeing, comparing things. It's just a conversation. It's not that deep. I promise it ain't. But I seen it right from the get-go. I said, yep, this is about race. You need to find out who the mom and dad is. You need to find out who that person is. Like but I think that way because I don't have an emotional attachment to the situation. Now, if this was somebody in my family, I don't know how I would respond. I don't know how I would continue to respond if it was somebody in my family. But when I look at these things from surface level, I just take the emotion out of them. You're right, class. I do it all the time, big dog. He said you could consistently parallel white to black. They are better than us in mass, and I disagree. I'll keep disagreeing. You're right. You're right. He said they aren't objectively better or emotionally. You're right. You're right. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. And then Little Penny said here, if they deleting socials completely, they are getting coached. There is a big difference between reactive and proactive defense. Yeah. Tony, man, this stuff was on TV, man. But it is a strategy. It is a strategy. I mean a tragedy. Mario said a child's life was lost and he's over there guessing. How does he not know?
Yeah.
They pay him enough. They pay him enough to not know. They pay him enough to not know. So he said, suspect because you can't even delete text messages, even erased, you still have them.
You can't, yeah.
I wonder how they opened his phone. He said, I know plenty of black folks who are free today because they know how to and not to talk to the police and judges. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Mario said, facts, we are the few and are ready to change, but the masses are still, don't say the masses. Don't you say the masses, Mario. The few are ready to change, but the masses are still trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. Penny said, agree with souls on emotions, blind to tragedy. Not knowing isn't ignorance, it's strategy. Wake up, people. Yeah, yeah. Richard said, can't delete anything once it's sent. It's true. It's true. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I think everybody has their own opinions, man. Like everybody has their own thought process. People are going to articulate and see things the way they want to, and that's fine. That's what creates content. But again, I think this is very interesting because even Ben Crump said it that like the parents aren't allowing this to go silently. Like,
yeah,
like a lot of this stuff plays a part, right? Like their actions are totally different than previous actions. I think they seen what happened when we stay quiet, when we try to follow the law or follow the guidance that we receive. And I think they're saying, you know what, we're going to push back against it. And, you know what I mean? We'll rather fight for our son's innocence than anything else. You know what I mean? Penny said, but you have to go through the effort of getting a warrant for the social media company to go into deleted archives.
Do you think the investigation will change once the independent autopsy comes back?
Say that one more time.
Do you think the investigation will change or shift once the results of the independent autopsy comes back?
No, it's nothing to shift. You see what I mean? Like nobody lied. The kids lawyered up. The lawyer made a statement. Nobody lied. Nobody said anything. You see what I mean? Like nothing's gonna shift. It's just gonna be the truth that comes out that already was released from the people that cared about Nolan. You see what I mean? Like nothing has to shift because the people who've seen it and believe it already saying what happened. Only shift that'll happen if things flip on his back and like some erratic story is created and it goes against everything that's being said. That's the only thing. And right now, the biggest thing why they lawyered up because they're going to fight nothing but the autopsy, the toxicology report. That's what they're going to fight with. They're not going to fight with nothing else. They probably even say, "Yup, we panic and move the body back because we didn't know what to do at the time. We were just like, you see what I mean? Like they're not saying nothing now, so they're able to create any narrative they want once it's time for them to take a stand." And that's what I'm saying. Like it's the strategy behind it. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't know this strategy, but a lot of times we allow our emotions to get in front of the strategy that's at hand. You know how they say like a lot of people don't know what they would do in the ring until they get punched in the mouth. Like it's that same thing, right? Like a lot of people react differently, but for some of us, you know, who've been to like deployed locations and being in a line of fire, you react differently because you have already been placed under a stressful environment. So the way we think, the way we're wired is different than the majority. Just because most people, once tragedy strikes, you don't know how you're going to react to it. But yeah, I don't think nothing's going to shift until they get on the stand. That's when you'll really feel like a shift in the atmosphere because they're going to definitely run with the toxicology report. That's going to be your only strategy. You see what I mean?
Ask a question at the very end too, but I want everybody's opinion. Okay. But we'll do it at the very end.
All right. Richard said drowning or strangling is crazy way to pass. It is. Penny says silence isn't lying. It's just delay. If delayed enough, then you can pick and choose the hill you die on and have the case closed by the time all the story and evidence comes to light. Penny, we're going to have to get you on here, man. We think so much alike. Hey.
We're working towards the same goal as the family. We want a thorough investigation, and that's what we're going to continue to do until we arrive at the answers that the family deserves.
Wow.
And the sheriff says he and his team are still reviewing a substantial amount of video and images they have received from the public. And he says he welcomes that independent investigation the family attorney says they plan to conduct. Michael?
Yeah. All right. So now we're actually going to hear from someone who has some interesting information about what the Coast Guard found, because it looks like we, again, have differing information and differing reports. That's what happened in the age of social media. News moves fast in a lot of cases, and there can be some inaccuracy. So who's actually telling the truth here? Let's see what they have to say. Shout out to Clay Edwards for posting this video. He says the United States Coast Guard is now correcting itself and admitting that Nolan Wells' friends did call to report him missing on the evening of July 4th. They had originally denied that there was a call, which spurred a lot of online radical or racial conspiracies from the Black community. Let me know what you guys think.
Let me play that back. I don't want that to go over people's head.
At 4th, they had originally denied that there was a call, which spurred a lot of online radical or racial conspiracies from the Black community. Let me know what you guys think about this.
We have a major update in the Nolan Wells case, and this is coming straight from the Mississippi Coast Guard correcting themselves in what's been a major point of contention and key hot button for a lot of the online conspiracy theories from the racists who can't understand why Nolan's friends allegedly didn't report him missing. And that goes back to the Coast Guard saying they never got a call from his friends. Well, they have now come out and corrected themselves, officially saying they did, in fact, receive a call from Nolan's friends on the night of July 4th. Here's the story. This is courtesy of Mississippi Television on Facebook.
How do you miss that?
The U.S. Coast Guard has corrected its previous statement, confirming it did receive a call from friends of Nolan Wells on the night of July 4th. Man, you can't make this up. Petty Officer Cheyenne Basaruto of the Mississippi of the U.S. Coast Guard Heartland District originally told Mississippi Television by email that the Coast Guard was not notified about Wells' disappearance until 12:26 p.m. on July 5th, when the Jackson County Sheriff's Office requested assistance. However, at 11:48 a.m. today, Basaruto sent a follow-up email clarifying that this was not the first contact. According to an updated statement, quote, it has been confirmed that a friend of the teen contacted the Coast Guard on the night of July 4th at around 11 p.m.
Okay. So again, a lot of differing conversations, a lot of differing reports on this. I think it's going to be important for the family to do an investigation in this case. I would as well, because a lot of this doesn't make sense. And when you see someone like the Coast Guard making a mistake like this, it raises even more red flags to me. Let me know what you guys think about.
So,
somebody paid that person off to retract their statement. Somebody paid that person off to retract that statement, because how can you make a big mistake at that? Saying that they never received a phone call.
is Sko still in here? Sko still in here? This is another play for how to get away with murder. They did that on there.
They paid that person off. Guaranteed.
They setting everything into place though, because now you can place the blame in so many different areas. It takes the bluntness off of the person who actually did the crime. Because now you can use them not saying that they called, or the person, now that person loses integrity. Like, even if you put them on the stand,
yeah, you
can't trust them. Like,
you can't.
It's all a play. Like, it's all a play.
Sko said, and at least good for
Sko watch it. I'm telling you, Sko. How many times? Remember when that girl daddy was in the mob, and they telling y'all, watch the show, dog. TV will show you it. TV will help you out.
And I agree with Classic too. He said produce the audio call, because aren't those calls recorded whenever you do call in to the Coast Guard? There's got to be some kind of log, call in log as well.
But what happens if she deleted it? She now becomes an accessory.
She put herself in that predicament.
There will be casualties in war.
That's what.
Hey, you know, people think
my first thought. You see my hand go up. I
just be trying to give people stuff in black and white. It be right there in front of us. Like, I just don't have, like, I'm telling you, like, all this is like, I'm telling you, you're gonna find more and more little things, because a lot of times it can throw a case out too.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? And then you gotta like throw certain parts out because it's not able to hold up in the court of law. And then now you gotta fight maybe just the toxicology report. Like, they knew this. Like, somebody needs to go look up that lady. I guarantee you she's on pictures with Miss Jenny or whoever her name was. I guarantee you they best friends.
Possibly.
I'll let you read those, man.
Okay. Penny said the autopsy will only change the conclusion if there's something that they didn't account for that makes it public, but it depends on the interest of the county morgue. Classic said now they have to produce audio of the imaginary call. Thank you, Classic. Yes. Penny says, sounds like they fight more than the white parents. They fight in the full might of the state of Mississippi, considering the Coast Guard choosing sides. Absolutely. I said, paid in cash. Classic said, paid in cash. He said, now produce the call and phone records of the outgoing and incoming call. Absolutely. Yep. Bridget said, why no speed is placed on this? Not enough pressure. I think I should rush them. A kid just drowned out the blue with a bunch of kids, and it's no witness. 24 hours is too much time to be lollygagging. Yeah. Little Penny says somebody got political interest involved. The kids' parts are affiliated.
And I want y'all to think about this as this goes on, right? With all these steps being put into place, don't you kind of feel like this was premeditated? To lie about a call that would have happened 3 hours before the alleged incident on July the 5th would be somebody had already had a plan in take. Because how can you predict from 11 p.m. what was going to happen at 1 a.m. on the 5th? You lost, Rain?
Yeah. Bring me back.
So if you heard everything they said in that part, right?
Right.
Like the whole video was saying, even the House of Hypocrites said it, right? That everybody said that he left the island. You know what I mean? They took his phone. But now we just heard that the Coast Guard call happened at 11 p.m. But if that photo is a real photo that shows him at their pool at July the 5th at 1 a.m. the next day, how did someone know to deny the phone call at 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
That's premeditated.
It's gotta be.
Like, cause or did some blunt trauma happen? Like, did something happen at the island, but then they just took Nolan to the next location and he was still kind of acting normal, and maybe because there's delays in medical stuff.
It could be,
You know what I mean? So like, so like, is it premeditated? You see what I mean? Because that happened prior to when they said they seen him again on that picture. So like, why would you deny a call that happened on the 4th if he's in a picture on the 5th? It's confusing. You see what I mean?
Okay. Cha-Cha. Welcome in, Cha-Cha. I think this is my first time seeing you. They said correct, Rain. I see the baby picture on there. Then said parents. Sco said Annalise good for paying somebody off.
Yes, sir.
Penny said that's more than money changing hands. Sco said the mom is an accessory no matter what. Saving her babies. Penny said pawns be on the chessboard too, and they got power. Bridget said can't delete them. Places like that put millions of dollars into backup, so losing them would never happen.
I agree with you, Bridget, on those texts for sure.
Penny said, of course the kids made a call to the parents as soon as it popped off. There was time before the call was made to someone's parents to cover it up. Sco said, yeah, that definitely sounds like a setup. Bridget said, you're right. The first thing should be find out who the parents are.
So I've been saying that.
Sco said, or maybe that's an old picture from a previous pool party.
Yeah, they don't know yet. They try to find the dates, Sco. Some people have confirmed that it is the pool party though. Like, so they trying to figure it out. Because remember they just said, Sco, too, that he was coughing up blood at the pool that on House of Hypocrites video.
Yeah.
So
Penny said, and pictures metadata can be doctored along with nav data.
Yeah. Little Penny on the threads, they started like doing the research on that data, how you can manipulate it and change it around.
Yeah.
So that's right. What's that?
Semper Audio said NASA has all of the phone receipts.
So, man,
welcome in, Semper Audio.
Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Man, telling you. So we're gonna move on to the last topic of the night, man. Not to hold y'all too long. And then Rain says she has a question for everybody at the end of this.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested. So we're gonna move on to the third one, man. This is right here. More about the sheriff and the Nolan Wells case, man. Y'all know Hopper Hits Chris was on it. This is what Rain is on him now. So we're gonna hear what he has to say about this sheriff. Let's see here.
View. That is not a thorough investigation. This is why Nolan Wells' family is getting an independent autopsy and an independent investigation, because John Ledbetter in the sheriff department in Jackson County has not one, not two, but 3 civil lawsuits that are current and active since 2024. Damn! Now this explains why John Ledbetter might want to sweep this under the rug so he won't get more publicity in his county. And it explains why the family doing an independent investigation. But let's get into what Nolan Wells' best friends revealed about John Ledbetter.
We have actually spoken to, got in touch with one of Nolan's friends, a young man who was actually on Horn Island that day, saw Nolan that morning and saw him in the afternoon also. So he's joining us just to tell us what he knows about what went on Horn Island. Javon Williams, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey, can I clear up that first part? I didn't see him in the morning. I seen him in the afternoon
when you got out to the island. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that you were not on that boat that went back, but you did know the friends on the boat. You knew Nolan, obviously. One of the things that I wanted to know is What was the relationship like between Nolan and these other people that ended up on that boat? Were they friendly? Did they sometimes argue? Can you kind of give us a sense of that?
Yeah, so Nolan hung out with them a lot. I wasn't ever hanging out with them because, they're older and they were like hanging out when they come back from like college and stuff like that. So Nolan was with them a lot. I was never like with them. I knew them, but I was never hanging out with them. I know one of the boys he was with was a pretty good dude. But other than that, I don't really know like as every time they hang out how it goes. Like I don't really know that because I never hung out with them personally.
Javon, were they teammates of his? Did they play football also? Were they? I know they're a year ahead of you, but were they all teammates, or was Nolan the only one who played football?
Nolan was the only one that played football.
Okay. So did Nolan ever talk about them? Did he ever describe his relationship with them? Did he, talk about how much fun they had, whether they got in arguments? Did he ever talk to you about them?
Never. He just told me like how they had like good times. They'll go like he'll just let me know they're going out somewhere. They're gonna, just hang out. He never really said anything bad about like them.
Okay. Take us to that day on July 4th. So roughly how many kids are out there for this party, and describe your interaction with Nolan that day on the island.
Okay, yeah. So it probably was around, I'm going to say around like 100 people. Like everyone from Horn Island, everyone at Horn Island like that lived on the coast were there pretty much. Obviously, it was older people. There's a lot of people there, like honestly. But I seen Nolan whenever I got out there around 11 o'clock. I had walked down to their boat. I had seen him. It was like a whole bunch of people. I didn't expect it. So I seen Nolan. As soon as I seen Nolan, he's like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" Like, "I love you, dog. I love you." And then we were just hanging out, chilling, just having a good time. And then so around 3:40, 4 o'clock, an altercation had happened between one of my other friends. I don't want to say his name, but he had got an altercation. So I went and checked on him for about 20 to 15 minutes. I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone. But the thing about the two boats that I said, there were two boats tied up. So therefore, I didn't know which boat Nolan exactly was on because they were both tied up.
Javon, have you seen the video that's been going around social media?
No, this is when they should have asked, did you see Nolan still on the island? But it seemed like he's inferring that he didn't know which boat Nolan Wells left on.
Where people think that they're hearing an argument between people and they're wondering whether or not Nolan is one of the people in that argument. You just described that you had another friend, not Nolan, another friend who was in and got into a dispute. Is that video the other argument that you were talking about?
Yes.
So, but is that Nolan in the video?
I can't tell. It's too far away. But in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away, for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into an altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it. So
describe that.
Boy got common sense.
That's kind of interesting. What was that about?
He was just very hostile. Like he was like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
The parents on the boat were trying to, got it.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of adults out there as well as young people.
Yeah.
When you say the parents were trying to get him out on a boat, you had mentioned two boats. Are those two boats different boats?
Black on Black Love hoodies on my website, 95way.com. I got a few shirts on there. I got sizes for all your
people, I'm sure, who knew Nolan and maybe who were on the island. What's the buzz? What are people saying with you and your friends?
I mean, obviously, it's hard. Like I post my friend Nolan just to have show everyone that like how good of a person he was and try to like bring closure to like whatever the hell happened. Like this hurts. Like I've never lost someone this close to me, and like for people to say that I was the last to see him and keep twisting and turning my words and say that how did his closest friend would have knew his password. Like, so they're trying to say that like paint me a picture to be like the reason this is happening. I promise you guys, if I was the last person to see Nolan, I seen him by himself, he would have been home with us today. He would be with us today. I would still be able to talk to my friend every single freaking day. And so it really it hurts me so much, like hearing people say these things. But at the same time, people are just going off what they hear. So it's hard, honestly.
You're saying that when you posted about Nolan, a lot of the comments you're getting are people berating you, saying that you should know more.
Now it makes sense for why he's doing the interview, because within his circle of friends and people that knew he was friends with Nolan Wells, he came out to clear some things up. He's saying, hey, that's my friend. Dead or alive, he would have been coming back. But he's saying he would most definitely came back alive. So I understand why he's coming out and clearing things up. This is a young man that's not guilty of anything, who speaking freely unlike the people that Nolan Wells potentially left with. They got home and deleted all their social media and said nothing. This is a real friend. He gonna go clear the things up, and also he's gonna reveal something that he didn't know was an issue when it comes to police investigations. This is why I like naive people that don't have a bad bone in their body, because he's not trying to protect anything. He's just telling his truth, and it's going to expose John Ledbetter.
What happened to him?
Yeah. When I feel like that shouldn't be the case, because I also had a completely different ride out there. He had his own people. I mean, he hangs out with these guys like almost all the time. So I'm thinking he's fine. You know, I'm not thinking nothing of it.
And you never heard of Nolan having any kind of an argument with these guys before? You never heard anything like that?
No, sir.
What are people saying? I mean, these guys, actually, some of them have gotten lawyers.
Well, I'm curious if the police have, I know they said they're still investigating. Did any investigators ever speak to you about what you saw that day?
No, sir.
That's odd.
I don't see why the cops would have to talk to me. I mean, obviously, like, you know, like I had said my plea, like, because whenever I had talked to the people at Sunherd, it was whenever, you know, the body was discovered and the autopsy people and all those people were there.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm surprised. Because you knew Nolan well, and you knew that he was friends with these guys who were the last ones to be around him before his body was found. And I would think they would at least want to know, hey, just the things we're asking.
Right.
You know, did you ever hear of any of this stuff? It's odd to me.
Just to gather information.
Yeah, that the cops wouldn't have contacted you. Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, I'm completely fine with that. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. Like, that's my boy, and I want him to find justice. Like that, like this whole case thing, like whatever, like this whole situation, and none of this adds up to me. So like, it's really hard, like for like people to just like keep on saying things when like none of it adds up, honestly.
This is what you call black on black love. That's a real friend. That is a real friend. He don't care what the perception is. I'm not guilty of anything. No, they didn't speak to this young man, which is a mistake, because John Ledbetter said,
and we're going to be as thorough as we can.
Conducting a thorough investigation. Now, the kid said there was 100 people, about 100 people out there. It was about 200 or 300 people out there. You understand me? People that aren't guilty of things typically don't go back and delete their social media accounts. Typically don't try to fight the dad for coming to the house asking for their son keys and phone. Innocent people don't do that.
Sure, Javon, you've seen has been a big part of this story. People making the point that, at least in the photos that we initially saw, that Nolan was the only African-American kid who was out there, at least on that boat. Do you think, having been there on the island with this large group of people, that race plays a factor in whatever happened here?
I don't want to answer that. I don't want to answer that question. I wouldn't say like, yeah, I wouldn't want to answer that question. I mean, obviously we go to Ocean Springs, we're going to have white friends. So like, that's, I mean, I guess it's pretty normal down here, but.
Yeah, I mean, and I hear you. If that's, I guess you're saying that it's normal. It's not out of place to be a black teen in that area and that you have white friends, right? That's not uncommon is what you're saying.
I'm sure every black person has white friends somewhere, you know? So I wouldn't say that it's a whole race thing, but it's just like, obviously they're going to paint it as that because none of this adds up. So.
Got it.
I think it's nobody brought that part up though. Nobody said it. Like, I watched a lot of people reacting to this friend's comments, and I have not seen one black person say anything about that response though. That sounds like something Soul would have said. It would have been berated. Would have been berated for it. Like, for him, it's normal. He said, I spoke directly about what you said about it, Classic. Which part you said? Like, for him, that's normal. For him, he said that's normal.
I'm still wondering why the sheriff is so nonchalant about the investigation. Like Javon said, and the TMZ folks said, shout out to TMZ, they asked him more questions than the sheriff did. This is his best friend. Why would you not have a thorough conversation with him about his whereabouts, what kind of personality what kind of personality Nolan had, what Nolan was really doing, out there, or the last conversation they had together, all of that. Why would you not have a thorough conversation, at least a thorough conversation about who Nolan was? It's too much nonchalant going on around in that area by the sheriff's office. They're not being thorough at all. They're trying to sweep this under the rug and hoping it'll go away.
No.
And no, not necessarily go away, but hoping the parents will accept the fact that he drowned. And the parents are not going to accept that. That's the reason why they're choosing to go with Ben Crump for an independent investigation, because the sheriff's office is not doing their due diligence.
I'm gonna say this too, though, before we keep talking about this. I will say this, man. I hope eventually there's some other attorneys that people can team up with, because I do think Ben Crump automatically gives the perception that now it's a chase for money. Like when you follow his trends, when you follow his cases, like it's kind of, how they say, like, guilty by association, or birds of a feather flock together. Like, it's almost like, why is he touching this? Because everything he touches, like we ain't heard no more from Ben Crump about that little baby that was shot at Walmart. Ben Crump is now in Mississippi.
Mississippi is where everything's going down.
But you see what I mean?
Well, we haven't had an update on it.
Yeah, that's
from
my
him
thing. Is like that,
in reference to
that'll
that.
be I think too. I know there got to be some other good black attorneys out there, dog, that are fighting this good fight, that needs to start putting their hat in the ring, man, for real. So, here you go, Rain.
Sco said, but if he was coughing up blood, his DNA would be somewhere at the house.
They doing a thorough investigation.
A thorough cleaning. Penny said, yeah, but NSA ain't giving up no secrets. Penny said, get him, Rain. Penny said he made that clear real quick, like, yo, I wasn't there. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. I like my future. I'm sticking to the script. Penny said this interview paid his college tuition off. Penny also said all the boats look alike. And they do. They did. All the boats did look alike. So how would you know? How would you know which one he left on, or which one? Because they said two of them came together or something like that. I don't know.
He said that two boats were tied together. Thank you, Sco. Thank you. Appreciate you, Big Sco. Richard, we see those comments. I'm just not going to put them on the screen just for purposes, but we do see you. We do see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Penny said, but is he guilty by association or affiliation? Penny said Javon was coach as well. That's all I'm going to say. He's not guilty, but he ain't innocent. I'm just saying.
That's a very unique take. It's very unique take.
Yeah, because like, how old is he? Did he have to have his parents' permission in order to do? At 18, you don't have to have your parents' permission anymore at all, do you? So these are young adults and not necessarily children.
Yeah.
Penny said, coming from a black male that went to in high school with just 9 of us at the whole school, and have tabs on all black folks. Don't play with me, J.
Well, you say you got the whole list. Little Penny said he was the hall monitor on him.
Classic said he ain't say nothing because he still got to live where he lives. He ain't stupid. I can see that. Classic. I see that side.
So y'all don't think this is saying too much?
Just enough.
Just enough. Okay.
Richard said Mississippi drowning in public with no witness isn't normal.
comments, man. Oh, there we go.
Mary said, I'm right there with you, Rain. This is just crazy. Yeah, it is. Ted said the friends are lying.
So, Ted, you think the friends are in it? You think the friends are in it, Ted?
Penny said, you may not know everything, but you know how your boy be moving and who he with and what they're doing. You just don't want to speak on it because it sells out your boy or others close to you.
Yeah, okay.
Penny said, well, you know, all black folks can't swim in the store. Shaking my head. Penny said they ride in that racial stereotype. Ted said that's his job. He's good at it. He's just black. White attorneys do this all the time. Sko said all they have to do is run a black light around that pool area. Richard said there's some off the wall statements. Wasn't trying that is some off the wall statements. Wasn't trying to purposely.
Oh no, you good. You good. You good. Yeah, like I don't know, man. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
And Tez, I'm sure there is some white attorneys that do it all the time, but I bet you can't pull them up and know them by name. I think that's a big difference too. Is like you might, because Tez look at stuff different, like looks at different content compared to other people. But everybody, when they look at Ben Crump, they come with one situation. You know what I mean? I already said to Tez before, you can come up here with it. You treat me like you treated 2K now. Don't you come up with all that. You keep that 2K energy now. Don't come with all that. So what was your question you wanted to ask about all this?
If this would have been flip-flopped the other way around, what is y'all's, and people in the chat, your opinion, when I say flipped around, if it was all white people or black with one or two white people popping in as speckles, how do you think the investigation would be going if it was if the race was different, the race ratio was different, if Nolan was white and all of his friends were white, and if Nolan was white and all of his friends were black? Which way would this be going in those scenarios? So says somebody will already be behind bars.
But can someone answer the question, not utilizing race? Why would that be though?
Why would what be?
Like maybe Classic can answer it, Tez or Sko, without using race for your full justification. Why would that be so? You see what I mean? Because he said the answer is race. no, like for real though. But let's say like for real, like to get like I'm trying to get like a different response. So like because when do we become smarter though, Classic? When do we have the leverage to be smarter? Like how could we strategically do this? He said it ain't no different response. This is America.
Or what would it have been if it was all blacks, you know? All blacks, all whites, and then the race is reversed.
All black, that's normal day-to-day stuff. I
Mary
think you would have to keep it like 3 black guys and then a white guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muriel said all the black people would be locked up waiting to prove their innocence. Penny said they would have plain and experts from the DNA Institute of Microbiology already. Richard said, good question. Everybody at the party would be questioning who deleted the message, who deleted the messages will be locked up for tampering. Mary says, "Souls, I understand what you are saying, but race is a factor in how police treat a person." Penny says, "Smart is teaching your kids to miss that weekend at Horn Island." Skull said, "Because of where they are located." So do you think it'll be different if it was up there on Lake Michigan, Skull? Instead of in down south? And would that play a factor? Simple Audio, thank you for sticking around. He said Crump goes where he can get the most visibility. Miriam said if it was all blacks, they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you have to keep it in your scenario you asked.
Ted said Dershowitz is Trump's lawyer. Oh, Simpson's lawyer and Jeffrey Epstein. Richard said, bingo, why they say deleted messages and not locked up for tampering. Classy says segregation ain't nothing but tribalism. It ain't bad. Let's go back. Class, I need to ask you a question on that too. Sam, get it. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's your first time here.
You can read it. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. You can read what he wrote.
Who?
Sam.
Oh. Sam said, I wish black people would have had more concern for all the black murders happening every day in urban cities. I am black. I said it.
Okay.
Penny said, absolutely. As a kid, that grew.
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Sam, that's not a popular opinion here, sir. Everybody wouldn't agree with you. Just let you know. But appreciate the comment.
Penny said, absolutely. As a kid that grew up in the Chicago suburbs.
Penny, I'm surprised we see a lot alike. Because you from Chicago. I'm surprised we see a lot alike. I think they made. I thought you were probably from Texas or Louisiana or something like that, man.
Skull said they don't solve crimes in Chicago. Muriel said, I think that we need to go back to being our own tribes. This mixing is getting really dangerous for us people with melanin. Simper said there would be more strange fruit in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Classic said, we are concerned.
He talking about Sam.
Classic said, Sam popped in with straight. Sam said, I know that's the problem. Yes, Sam, I'm everybody. Classic.
No, Classic ain't everybody, but that's how most people would think. I just want to because Classic confuses me a lot because Classic still has the ability to have the conversations. And that's why, I want to have the conversation. That doesn't mean how you see things is wrong or how I see them is wrong, but I know Classic can have the conversation. So my thing is I think sometimes we have to have the conversation because the conversation leads to more of a resolution. Like if we never have the conversations and we just take things that each person says and we just kind of throw it to the wayside or try to make them feel like that's stupid to even think that way because you black. And I always feel like let's just have the conversation because that conversation could be what changes things for other people. You know what I mean? It was kind of like when I asked about the black adjacent thing. He gave a response and it gives you better understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think everything gives better understanding. He said Penny from up north. Hey, Classic. I don't know. Chicago. I ain't been there that much, so I don't know the difference.
Richard said, I got detained for getting someone off my bike. Looking back, it wasn't racism. That's why y'all need a white person with good arguments.
Say that one. Read that one more time.
Richard said, I got detained for getting someone off my bike. Looking back, it wasn't racism. That's why y'all need a white person with good argument.
Are you saying you had a white lawyer, Bridget? I know you kind of speaking in code.
Ted said, black on black crime is a myth. It's been debunked. Every race kills in proximity. Penny said, I don't know about the racial purity argument. Racial purity argument.
What you mean, little Penny?
Not mixing.
Oh,
Penny said, now Sam got a point.
Yeah.
Classic said, I'm having a conversation. You ain't confused.
No, I am confused. Because like I guess you could say you having a conversation. I guess in messages it's very short. So like it don't feel like a conversation. It feel like somebody just making their own points. Maybe that's what it is.
Skull said, it's plenty of people that drown at Lake Michigan or the Chicago River that they still haven't found.
Yeah. We got a lot of them in our little dirty Caddo Parish River and Red River. So I know they ain't looking at Louisiana.
Bridget said, deleting messages isn't tampering now. Yeah, it's tampering. I believe so. Classic said, the resolution involves a lot of death. Classic said, you don't want to have that conversation.
I do.
Tez down there says, there is no resolution. There's annihilation. No one wants that, right? Penny says, Skull agreed. And if you got enough money, nobody looking for them either. Classic said, you want us to vote, learn the system, try to win the system, and master the system. The answer is aggressively breaking the system.
And you know what's funny? I never said those words before. Even when I talked about presidential race, I never told any black person to go vote. You can go watch that. I never talked about voting.
I have.
I don't. And then I could agree with the learn the system part, but I don't think you need to win within the system. I think again, I said this before on the Faceless Father, you have to learn to manipulate the system. I don't think you're going to win within the system, but you can manipulate the system. You've been in corporate, you was in corporate America Classic. You can manipulate the system. Like you can walk around with your fro and your braids and whatever you wanted to put in your head because you knew how to manipulate the system. Classic still knew his job, that nobody could challenge him on his job. They would have to find a whole nother way to fire you because you couldn't challenge him that he didn't do his work. He wasn't keeping up with everything. To me, that's a form of manipulating the system, right? You master something so that you're then above it, right? You're reading all the black and white print so that you then can have the upper hand on that person that didn't read page 1,382. I think that's how you get some better results. Not saying you're going to win the system. Sam said, how can we defeat racism when we're killing each other? That's my point. I'll let them answer that for you. Mario said, Malcolm had it right. We need to stand up. Sam said, that's very BS. Have you seen what happened in Chicago and other cities? Which part is he talking about? Which part are you talking about?
I'm not certain.
Oh, Richard said, I'm saying a cop was stereotyping me, and it made great sense from his point of view. I was streaming racism for years until someone explained why he detained me.
So why did he detain you? Why did he detain you, Richard?
Tess, don't you bring this slander to our chat. Tess said, F the gov, you know what I mean? Sam said, at the end of the day, you will just go vote Democrat and expect change. He said, discard voting, then the point is you want a nonviolent answer. That's not true. That's not true. The answer is that's not true, Classic. That's not true. That's not true, man. Penny said the system is corrupt. There is no winning. There is just choosing the best outcome depending on the resources. Richard said black people confuse detained with arrest. Oh, still was wrong, but it wasn't what you think. Gotcha. Okay. So Richard's pretty much saying once he got the understanding, it changed his view.
Yeah.
Class said on a personal level, the answer is nonviolent to make sure the Nolan Wells stops happening yearly and weekly. That needs to be hoodies for the bodies. You hear me?
There needs to be bodies for the bodies.
Oh, shoot, man. Okay. Class said 100. I think he was talking about when I was talking about him at work. He said that's not manipulating the system. That's understanding your rights. Ted said, why should the ninja have to be 5 times better than the boss's son? You tripping. Come on, Ted. This the Tez we getting tonight? All right, Ted, I got you. I'm gonna rock with you tonight. Penny said, fact is there a change without blood. Sco said, yeah, I'm pro Malcolm, not for Martin. My protest is always going to be violent. He said, Sam, you're an absolute rat. Oh, I know what that is. Do some research. Every race kills predominantly each other. Stop believing in the what is it? Reaganomics. Richard said, because I'm black, snatching a kid off my bike, misunderstanding. He bought a bike that was stolen from me. Gotcha. He ain't tripping. That's Tez, man. That's Tez tonight. That's the Tez we getting tonight, man. We'll take that Tez down tonight, man. Yeah, man. I just think oh no, man. Oh no. I think everybody assumes from content that they can know everything and how people think. But in these cases, man, like Nolan Wells, it was easy to see it. It was super easy for me to see it. But it's weird to me because everybody in the chat saying they feel like Nolan Wells' friends are lying, or like so. I think that's the bigger question. Like, what could they do?
I don't know. I think that a lot of those, I'm gonna call them young adults because they're not children anymore. Young adults got scared that he did pass away. And the first thing they did, they went to their parents who are in the system, the court system, the law system, lawyers, judges, and said, hey, what do I do? And instead of being truthful and honest, they followed what their parents told them to do. And unfortunately, this mystery surrounding the exact things that did happen, because the truth is not all the way out there. It's coming in little pieces, but it's not all the way out there. Hopefully somebody out of all of the people that was in his proximity will just come out and be like, hey, here's the truth. This is what happened. Boom. And to at least give his parents some, not necessarily relief because it's not relief, but just some knowledge and knowing how his son passed, how their son passed, and that's what I think that will bother me most as a parent, not knowing exactly the circumstances surrounding, like, oh, did he get pushed off a boat? Or, oh, did he try to swim and he just wasn't making it? Or, oh, did he get beat up? I just want that closure in knowing how my son left the earth, as a mother with a black son, a biracial child. I would want to know how my child left this earth. And two, I think the parents, I don't know what I would have done specifically in the situation, it being me, but I think the parents maybe they should not have gotten Ben Crump. But yes, I understand they're wanting an independent investigation because they're not getting the support that they need from the local law enforcement and trusting their investigation that they're doing, with them being so nonchalant about how the investigation is going. I do also feel I highly respect his mother and his father for putting out there too, because I did watch the press release that they did. They asked the public to be, if you do protest, please be peaceful. Don't be out here, running amok, causing chaos and ruckus and all that. Be peaceful, because that's how he was. He was a peaceful person. So I'm thankful that they put that out there. Knowing, I know you can't control the public and how they're doing things, but if you do plan on protesting, to be peaceful about it. So, but it's just it's sad all the way around, because that closure of not knowing officially the truth and how he left this earth, and knowing that he was not deserving of ending his life so early either. So, and I would especially want to know if it was at the hands of somebody else, and wanting them to pay for taking my child's life. So, yeah.
You know why I enjoy you being white, Rain?
What's that?
You went on your own soliloquy. Rain ain't care what the chat was saying. Rain went on. No, but it's good because I love it. Like, cause you like Rain, like y'all can have all that. This is what I would want as a mother. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And my child's not even a teenager yet, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not even ready for him to go through and have those friendships with. I don't know.
But I think the biggest thing for you though, Rain, is we'll talk about that offline. I won't say that.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but I do want to answer Ted's question. I won't put it up there just because they put in certain language in the chat tonight.
Okay.
But I do want to answer Ted's question. I think the problem with the question, Tez, is why do you want to be better than the boss's son? Like, why do we think gaining knowledge and understanding a system is about being better than the white man? I didn't learn the system of the military to be better than the white man. I learned the system so that every other young 17 and 18-year-old black kid that put on the uniform had somebody like me to look up to and go to. I never compare me learning the system to be better than the white person that was in the system that I didn't like. Like, I seen a system that didn't have a lot of me in it. So I did what I needed to do to be in the position so that when they have to come to me, I can make better choices for them. And I think that's what we have to get. That's what my vision, that's what Soul's vision looks like. I'm not comparing myself to the white man. Just because I can recognize what they do or maybe the supposedly power everybody feels they have, I know that when I'm sitting in a system, it's just like being in a prison system, right? You watch somebody for 5 years, never have no family visits, nobody coming to send them money, but they learn how to build up their commissary, and now they're selling things for transactional reasons, right? They built a power structure for themselves so they didn't have to depend on others. And that's how I look at the system. I look at like, hey, I'm going to take the time out to go read these documents that the big Air Force sent out so that I can break it down to that young 18-year-old that just left the streets and came in and think he can still thug it out. I'm gonna break it down to him like, hey, bro, I understand. I get it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But this is what you need to do, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's why I made rank. That's why I tested and studied so that I was the boss that people wanted to look up to be. That's how I would look at the question. That's the way I would talk about that question. I never would say I have to be 5 times better to be better than the boss's son. I am the boss. So I'm no longer competing with the son. You see what I mean? Like, so that's just my opinion. I always feel like we should elevate ourselves so that we now can take the next step. Like, perfect example is like classic, right? Like if I had a son and I wanted my son to go be a boxer, I'm gonna take him to classic.
Yeah, definitely.
I could take him to classic, and classic can get his foundational skills right. Like I no longer have to go to that rich white gym in my neighborhood because they charging an arm and leg. I can go to somebody who really want to see kids improve, get better. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. I don't look at us. I think we need to stop looking at the competition that we feel. When I say we, those who feel that way, because I don't. But I think we have to stop looking at that and empower the competition within ourselves. That's how I look at it. That's why I tell y'all every day, even on these platforms, we all can be millionaires from this platform if we pushed each other instead of arguing with each other about everything. If we congratulate each other every time something successful happens instead of worrying about the next person, like we push this, we create content, we are the culture. Period. Like so, but that's my answer. That's my long-winded answer to your question. Richard said, I'm gonna explain to y'all on both platforms when this is over. What's Simper said, we don't have enough people that know how to navigate and or master the system. We need to follow the example of the small hats. So as I've lived in both North and South. You from Chicago. That's all I need to know, Penny. You ain't gotta justify which end you on. He said, I just need the date on the pool party pic because if that picture is from last year, they're playing in our faces. You right, Scope. You right, Scope. You're right. He said that's Ted's every night and every day. Black people being docile is the worst type of training. You was pretty docile now, Tez. I done seen you docile now. Come on now, Ted. Come on now. We got the files. Sipper said we need more Johnny Cochrans. Nobody is going to do that, Rain. That's too much like right. Welcome in. Big 7110 said Jesus is king. Love y'all. International Scope said protest against going to solve anything needs to be a body for a body. Ted said that's not what I asked. If you need me to clarify it, I would. No, don't come on the show. We don't have that much time. John 17:3. Y'all can read that if y'all like. BS. Jesus is not real. All right, Scope going right in that thing. Penny said, Rain got it. Teach your child to protect themselves at all times. Sometimes the best protection is not being in those situations.
Yeah.
I was talking crazy. I didn't even consider the Caucasian most Caucasian.
Most people don't, Reggie. You good.
He funny. She don't take no offense to it. Yeah.
I don't take no offense to it at all.
Okay. Ted said you're answering a question that I didn't ask. Okay, Tess. Well, you can answer it on your show. Let me know so I can watch it. Sco said, Rain, what they on with you in the chat?
I'm not for certain.
Sometimes I have to remind myself, Rain.
You good, Richard. You good.
Class says, so at the end of the day, the ninjas got a tiptoe. I don't think so. Sco, I don't know. But I'm the sellout for saying it. Wow. Sam, don't wear it. You ain't gotta wear it, dog. Hey, you ain't gotta wear it. These men, everybody have their opinion, dog. You gotta live your life. Don't wear the badge. It's okay, man. It's okay.
You live with what you
continue to answer the questions that I didn't ask. You right, Tess. Classic said, yes, he do. Where you was. Oh, he said, where was you outside? Classic said, you got to verify, little Penny.
Yeah,
you can't
Penny,
just
where
say
were
you're
you at outside? Yeah.
He said, you never, I see you docile. You was docile, man, when you did the selling the thing now. You see my chats. You were docile. You was calm. I don't know what docile means in y'all world, but you was docile. You didn't have the same energy now. Mary said, we don't have to tiptoe. Classic. We need to start supporting our Black-owned business and bringing up our youth to understand that they are our future.
Yeah.
But the thing about that, Mario, you have to be a certain Black for Black people to support. Rain just light-skinned it. He said, low key be forgetting YouTube. He said, A-Sound. He said, no, I was not. Maybe should watch. I watched the whole show. I super chatted like 6 times. What's up, Courtney? What's up, Courtney? What's up, my guy?
Telling them to drop the likes and Courtney
show. Ted said my energy didn't change one bit. All right. That was my perception, Ted.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? What's good, man? We got money in the chat. What's up, Courtney?
What's up, Courtney?
What's up, Courtney, man? Shout out to Courtney, man. Courtney, we play music over here. Let me see what we got in here. For the super chat? What we got? Let's see here.
You got that glow. And one thing they hate worse than you having that glow is when you know you got that glow. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. So give them a reason to keep hating on us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, oil farming, how I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. That's
And shout out to Courtney for the super chat. Courtney, make sure he said shout out to the beauty queen as well.
You, Courtney.
Courtney, if you want to hear that music, man, that is Classic Codes right here in the chat. He creates music. It's called B Class Music. You can find him on all platforms, to include SoundCloud. If you want to find pretty much almost everything. And if you become a member behind his member wall, you can do the human jukebox he did. He did like a lot of good songs that a lot of people probably couldn't find or things they requested. So shout out to him as well. Shout out to Courtney for the super chat. So yeah. I support all blacks, man. Even if they don't agree with me, I support black people, man. I support all blacks, man. I support everybody, man. I think we all have all of us have our own thought process. I think some of us went through certain stages in our life that we just don't want to relive or rehash. And I think you see it play out into our adulthood. He said, Classic Codes, bet I'm gonna look him up. Yeah, Classic, you can find him, dog. His content is dope. His content is dope, and his music is dope. Classic, drop your link for your music. Did you already do it? Don't know. Okay, I got you, Ray. Yeah, so Classic has his music. He said definitely not. Ted said, what kind of a-hole would I look still trying to fight a man that came with them olive branch and the truth that wouldn't be a fair fight to him? I'm not vindictive. I don't move in my feelings. I got you. Appreciate your justification. Penny said, as many shades of black as there is black perspectives. Yeah. But yeah, man. I think this is going to be very interesting. I'm really ready to see what the outcome is going to be of all of this. Hopefully, it doesn't fall by the wayside like the other ones. Other than that,
it might not let me do it. I was trying to drop my link.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. It's gonna only post over to the Facebook page.
Yeah. So other than that, you got anything else, ma'am?
No, I'll probably bring the weekly rain report tomorrow evening. Maybe, don't hold me to it. And of course, we got No Middleman tomorrow night, of course, right? Same time. Normally, yeah. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I don't think I have anything else going on this week. I'm gonna try. I need to bring back the call-in show. I really do. I gotta get it together, y'all. But I love doing the weekly rain report. So y'all tap in with me tomorrow evening sometime. I don't have a time yet, but yeah, that's about it. You got anything for him before we close this out? Before I close this out?
Yeah, I do agree with Tez on this one though. Newsflash: in 2 weeks they won't be looking for Ish unless someone tells. That's literally how this goes. I agree with you on that one, Tez.
Yes, I hope they keep it afloat until. That's one thing I can say, Tez. Yes, it don't need to go by the wayside at all. It does not need to be. Nobody needs to stop talking about it, because as soon as we stop talking about it, then it just disappears into the background, and nobody won't. Just like we have, like Soul said earlier, we have not heard anything else about the baby and Cohen Wiley in Mississippi. I haven't seen any updates. Has anybody seen an update? I haven't went and looked either. But for it to be such a huge case, something should be coming up in my algorithm, so that's one thing that I can say. So
he said, oh no, we ain't got to go to the restroom, Rigid. He said, never mind, I'm go. He said that's the whole point. He's a black kid, they don't care. We gotta care though. We gotta care. That's why I said that's why I said earlier, Tez, I don't know if you was here. I think we need to make this into a law. Like, I think that should be what we try to strive for when we do secure certain cases or certain verdicts on certain situations. I feel like we should really start trying to push laws in the name of these people so that we can at least have that to push that person's name forward.
And that's what I will bring this up right quick. Anaya Blanchard. I don't know if y'all heard anything about Anaya Blanchard, but she was a young lady that was killed out here in Auburn, Alabama. I think about 2 years ago. But there's a law now in her name. Her mom pushed it for this law to become an effect in her name as well. And I can pull that up right quick because I see Souls. He said he'll be right back. But Anaya Blanchard, she was unalived by this man, and he had actually been released before the trial was set to begin for her unaliving. And but now with this law, Anaya Blanchard, it gives like convict if you're a convicted felon and you're going in again for the same. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on it, but if you're going in again for the same earlier conviction, then you cannot be released into the public again. So maybe that's something I'll bring to my show too, talking about Anaya Blanchard. So her name has been out here, and her mom did push for that law to happen, because if he would not have been released, she would still be here today as well. So that's something. Classic. I'll ask you this right quick and then we close out. So you are since you feel that segregation should come back, what is your stance on mixing races? Like, how do you feel about that? What's your stance on race mixing races? Um, because coming back through, segregation, if you come back, that's like, um, that would be there would be no mixing races anymore. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
we'll wait for Classic to answer.
Mhm.
I feel like segregation it still exists anyway. I just don't think it always looks like what we think it doesn't look like what we've seen, in history books and stuff like that. And I think a lot of segregation is also kind of internal now. Kind of like it's kind of like what it's kind of like what Classic said earlier, right? Like you have to be a certain black person. Like segregation exists. Like
Mhm.
it's just how everybody looks at it. He said people are going to do it. I don't think my feelings matter.
Understood. Yeah, understood. I respect that.
Yeah. Richard said, I'm lost, Tez. Charging people, enforcing rules. He talking about this one right here, Ted. Ted said people are only affected by the law after it's been broken, and that depends on people charged with enforcing it.
Mm.
Classic said mixing will be less probable than it is now. The
Mhm.
crime rates and marriage rates will surprise everybody, though. But black folks thrive when they left alone, historically speaking.
Mm. I got you, Classic. Yeah, that's understood. The police.
Hey, Classic, you can see Ray just melts in her chair. Like, man,
What?
if we segregate, man, Classic telling me I gotta go back to my people.
I ain't never had it. I ain't never had it. So how can I go back to it? I ain't never had it.
You can see your whole dove verse like, oh man, that ain't what I
No,
wanted. That ain't what I really wanted to hear.
no, I wanted to hear his opinion on mixing races. Yeah. Yeah. So you good, Souls?
Yeah,
You
go ahead,
ready
do
to
your
close it
thing.
out?
Do your thing.
So that's how we do it here. We did have a special edition of No Middleman tonight. Real conversations, raw perspectives, and no filters. Shout out to everybody who pulled up and added to the conversation tonight. Whether you agree, disagreed, or got your feelings challenged, we appreciate you for being part of the dialogue. And if you enjoyed tonight's discussion, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the stream with somebody who is not afraid of real conversation. And of course, don't forget that the conversation does not stop here. Make sure if you're catching this on the rewatch that you drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you stand. Did you want to get those comments, the last few comments coming in?
Yeah, Super Otto said, I implore everyone here to study Bacon's rebellion and the resulting history that followed. may change your perspective. There is only one race. I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check it out. He said Rain will be with us. I said no. She is YT. Period. Period. Point blank. What old boy say? Period. Point blank. Period. He said the people who straddle the fence will be pushed with the white side. He said that she YT, but her loyalty is crystal clear.
I get you, Classic. I got you.
What makes you think that though, Classic? What makes you think her loyalty is crystal clear? He said, "Simply tell that to our social security numbers."
Yeah. So until next time, for myself, your girl Soft Rain, and make sure y'all go over to I know we over here on Souls of Thought channel, but make sure y'all go over to my channel as well and subscribe to me as well. For me, Soft Rain, for Souls of Thought, we are signing off. Good night, and remember, the truth don't need a middleman. We appreciate y'all coming in tonight.
No middleman.
As an arbiter of the law with whole knowledge of historical jurisprudence in this country, race must always be considered a variable.
You have precious time, Miss Keating. I suggest that you don't waste it by making arguments you've already made.
These are not my words, Justice Strickland. They're yours. You wrote them in your 1985 ruling in Bryant v. Topeka, an equal protection case dealing with a state housing lottery program. Racism is built into the DNA of America. And as long as we turn a blind eye to the pain of those suffering under its oppression, we will never escape those origins. The only safeguard people of color have is the right to a defense, and we won't even give them that. Which means that the promise of civil rights has never been fulfilled. Due to the failure of our justice system, our public defense system in particular, Jim Crow is alive and kicking. Laws that made it illegal for blacks and whites to be buried in the same cemetery. They categorize people into quadroons and octoroons. They punish a black person for seeking medical attention in a white hospital. Some may claim that slavery has ended. But tell that to the inmates who are kept in cages and told that they don't have any rights at all. People like my client Nathaniel Leahy and millions of people like him who are relegated to a subclass of human existence in our prisons. There is no alternative to justice in this case. There is no other option. To decide against my plaintiff is to choose lining the pockets of prison owners over providing basic defense for the people who live in them.
Yeah. This ain't no handouts. No shortcuts. No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman.
No middleman. No middleman. No middleman, I get it direct. Pressure talk, I don't deal in the flex. Cut the line, I don't wait, I collect. If it's mine, I'ma claim my respect. No middleman, I move with intent. Boss moves only, every dollar was spent. No favors, no deals, no rent. Built from the ground, now the whole game bent. Started with a vision, had to cut the distractions. No handshake, just results and reactions. They was talking plays, I was making it happen. Turn losses to losses, then flipped it to passion.